Good morning everyone. Here we are starting application of derivative increasing and decreasing function. So here we will use differentiation to find out whether the function is increasing or decreasing or constant function, that means not increasing not decreasing. So for that, if we consider the graph of suppose fx equal to x square, then the graph will be like this. If we consider this graph, then these values -2, -1, 1, 2, 0, these values, the values of x are in the domain of fx, and this y-axis will be the axis of fx. Now the graph of x square will be like this. Now if we consider an interval, suppose the interval is closed interval 0 to 1, then see, in this interval 0 to 1, this graph is increasing, this graph is going upward. If we consider the interval -1, 0, then the graph is coming downward, so the graph is decreasing. In this way we will use the differentiation to find out the function is an increasing function or decreasing function. So here definition 1 is given. Let I be an interval contained in the domain of a real valued function f, then f is said to be increasing on the interval I if x1 is less than x2 in I, which implies f of x1 is less than equal to f of x2 for all x1 x2 belongs to I. So here x1 and x2 are the points in the interval I where we are finding the function is increasing or decreasing. So if x1 is less than x2 and if it implies f of x1 is less than equal to f of x2, then the function is increasing function. Now the point number 2 is given strictly increasing. In point number 1 it was given only increasing, in point number 2 it is given strictly increasing. What is the difference between these two, increasing and strictly increasing? See here, in the point number 1, f of x1 is less than equal to f of x2, and whenever it is given strictly increasing, it will be f of x1 is less than f of x2. So whenever it is increasing, then we can use less than equal to. Whenever it is strictly increasing, we have to get only less than. Now for the decreasing function, if x1 is less than x2, then f of x1 will be greater than equal to f of x2 for all x1 and x2 belongs to I. And for strictly decreasing, x1 less than x2, f of x1 is greater than f of x2 for all x1 x2 belong to I. So in definition 1 we are not using differentiation. Some question we can do using definition 1 also. So here some graphical representations are given. See here, increasing function is given. The first diagram is for increasing function. See, the diagram 1 is given for increasing function. Now see here, this graph is increasing and this is decreasing, again increasing. So this graph is increasing and decreasing both. For some part it is increasing, for this part it is slightly decreasing whenever we will compare with this one. Again it is increasing whenever we will compare it to this one. So it is a increasing function, not strictly increasing. What is strictly increasing function? The strictly increasing function graph will be like this only. It will never come downward. Decreasing function and strictly decreasing function, whenever it is strictly, so it will be constantly downward. Now whenever it is decreasing function, it is also downward, but for this part it is very decreasing, and for this part it is slightly less decreasing, then again it is decreasing. So it is fluctuating. In this way we will find that the function is decreasing or strictly decreasing. Now point number 5 is given neither increasing nor decreasing function, because for this part it is increasing, then again here it is decreasing, again here it is decreasing, again increasing, again increasing. So it is both increasing and decreasing. So here it is called neither increasing nor decreasing function. Now in definition 2 it is given, let x naught be a point in the domain of definition of a real valued function f, then f is said to be increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing or strictly decreasing at x naught if there exists an open interval I containing x naught such that f is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing or strictly decreasing respectively in the interval I. So in definition 1 we got that the function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing, strictly decreasing on an interval, but here in definition 2 they are telling about a point, that the function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing or strictly decreasing in this point or not. Whenever a single point is given we have to find an interval I, and here x naught should belong to I, then we will check for the interval I. If the function is increasing, strictly increasing, decreasing or strictly decreasing in this interval, then we can say the function is, this is true for this point also. So here it is given, a function f is said to be increasing at x naught if there exists an interval I where the interval I will be open interval x naught minus h, x naught plus h greater than 0, such that for x1 comma x2 belongs to I. So where h is a very small number and we will consider the interval like this. If this is the point x naught, then we will take the interval like this. This point will be x naught minus h and this point will be x naught plus h. Example 7 is given, show that the function given by fx is equal to 7x minus 3 is strictly increasing on R. R means the set of real number. So here fx is clearly defined for all real numbers. We have to check that the function is strictly increasing in its domain. The domain is the set of real number. Now strictly increasing means what? The graph will be somewhat like this. So for that, by definition 1 we will get, let x1 and x2 be any two numbers in R. Then x1 less than x2, we will consider x1 less than x2 and we will try to find that f of x1 is less than f of x2. Because it is strictly increasing, here we will not give the equal sign. So if x1 is less than x2, then if we multiply both the sides by 7, then we will get 7x1 is less than 7x2. If we subtract 3 from both the sides, then we will get 7x1 minus 3 is less than 7x2 minus 3. So f of x1 is less than f of x2. So from here we will get fx is strictly increasing on R by definition 1. Theorem 1 is given, let f be continuous on closed interval AB, differentiable on the open interval AB. Remember this one, theorem 1 is defined by f is continuous on closed interval and differentiable on the open interval AB. Then f is increasing in closed interval AB. Whenever it is increasing, it will be closed interval. If f dash x is greater than 0, for each x belongs to open interval AB. This is the theorem 1. Whenever it is increasing, it will be closed interval. Remember this one. F is decreasing in the closed interval AB if f dash x is less than 0 for each x belongs to open interval AB. So for increasing, f dash x greater than 0 and for decreasing, f dash x less than 0. F is a constant function in closed interval AB if f dash x is equal to 0 for each x belongs to open interval AB. Now if we consider the function, suppose fx is equal to 2, then f dash x will be what? 0. ddx of 2 is 0 because 2 is a constant. So since f dash x is 0, so f is a constant function. Now if we draw the graph of fx is equal to 2, then the graph will be, so somewhere it is 2, then the graph will be like this. This is a constant function and the graph will be like this. So it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Now in the remark it is given that f is strictly increasing in open interval AB if f dash x is greater than 0 for each x belongs to open interval AB. F is strictly decreasing in open interval AB if f dash x is less than 0 for each x belongs to open interval AB. So by theorem 1 we can say f be continuous on closed interval and differentiable on open interval. Then whenever f is increasing, then here we have to use closed interval f dash x is greater than 0. Whenever it is strictly increasing, this interval will be open interval. Whenever it is strictly increasing, then it will be strictly increasing in open interval and increasing in closed interval. F dash x greater than 0. For decreasing, f is decreasing in closed interval AB and strictly decreasing in open interval AB if f dash x is less than 0. If f dash x is equal to 0, then the function is a constant function. So for increasing it will be closed interval, for strictly increasing it will be open interval. For decreasing it will be closed interval and for strictly decreasing it will be open interval. For increasing we should get f dash x greater than 0 and for decreasing we should get f dash x less than 0. If we get f dash x is equal to 0, then f is a constant function. Here example 8 is given. Show that the function f given by fx is equal to x cube minus 3x square plus 4x, x belongs to R, is strictly increasing on R. Clearly fx is defined for all real number. Here domain is the real number, set of real number. So here we will use theorem 1 to check that the function is strictly increasing or not. So first of all we have to find f dash x. So if we find f dash x, then we have to find the derivative of fx with respect to x. So x cube will become 3x square minus 3x square will become 6x and from 4x we will get 4. Now if we write it like this, 3 within bracket x square minus 2x plus 1, then it will be greater than 0 because x square minus 2x plus 1 will be equal to x minus 1 whole square. X minus 1 whole square is always positive, 3 is positive, 1 is positive. Since all are positive here, so it will be greater than 0. So from here we will get f dash x is greater than 0. Now it can never be equal to 0. Since it is greater than 0, not greater than equal to 0, because if we put x equal to 1 here, then this part will become 0, but we will be left with this 1. 1 can never be equal to 0, so here we will get this part will be greater than 0, not greater than equal to 0. So since we are getting greater than 0, so the function will be strictly increasing on R. Example 9, prove that the function given by fx is equal to cos x is strictly decreasing in open interval 0 to pi, strictly increasing in open interval pi to 2 pi, and neither increasing nor decreasing in the open interval 0 to 2 pi. So for that, first of all we have to find f dash x. F dash x will be minus sin x. Now for question number A, we have to prove the function is strictly decreasing in the interval 0 to pi, which is an open interval. So here it will be 0, then pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, then 2 pi. So here we are checking for 0 to pi, so these two quadrants. Since f dash x is equal to minus sin x, in the first quadrant sin x is positive, so since sin x is positive and before sin x the negative sign is given, so f dash x will become negative. In the second quadrant also sin x is positive, and for this negative sign f dash x will become negative. So for first two quadrants f dash x will be less than 0. Since for first two quadrants f dash x is less than 0, so f is strictly decreasing in the open interval 0 to pi. And since here we are doing strictly decreasing, that is why here the open interval is given. Question number B is given strictly increasing in the interval pi to 2 pi. So whenever we will consider the interval, open interval pi to 2 pi, then we have to consider the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Fx is cos x and f dash x is minus sin x. Now if we consider this quadrant, then in the third quadrant sin x is negative. Whenever sin x is negative, for this negative sign these two will become as a whole positive. Then in the fourth quadrant also sin x is negative. Whenever sin x is negative, then with this negative sign f dash x will become positive. So for both the quadrants f dash x will become greater than 0. So f is strictly increasing in pi 2 pi. This is the open interval. Question number C, it is given we have to prove neither increasing nor decreasing in the open interval 0 to 2 pi. So whenever this interval is given, in this interval we will get 0 to pi, pi to 2 pi. Two intervals we will get. We can divide this 0 to 2 pi interval in these two intervals. Now in the interval 0 to pi, fx is strictly decreasing. Here in these two quadrants fx is strictly decreasing, and in the third and fourth quadrant fx is strictly increasing. So in this quadrant 0 to 2 pi, for some part fx is decreasing and for some part fx is increasing. So as a whole we can say fx is neither increasing nor decreasing in the interval 0 to 2 pi.